Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all the core gamers out there. CAJ-Man 777 here, welcoming you to Metroid Prime 2. That is right, we are going to be picking it up where we left off after Prime 1 and moving right into the chronological game in the series, Metroid Prime 2. Now, I have done a run before this. As you will see, I do have an 100% run on hard right here. So guess what we're doing this time around? That's right, we're going to be doing another 100% round on hard. This one, this is a practice run that I started earlier. But this is also a file for my friend. But we're going to be playing Metroid Prime 2 for the next entire Let's Play of the channel. So, what I'm going to do is we are going to be playing on hard. And it's going to be the same way my Metroid Prime 1 playthrough was set up. We're going to see a lot of episodes, a lot of action, a lot of good commentary, and for those who don't know Metroid knowledge, that's alright, I can fill you in on some of it as we go. We have a lot to do in this game. This is my personal favorite of the Prime series. Metroid Prime 2 is my favorite game of the trilogy. Not counting the trilogy version, because I think the trilogy version does have some fixes in this does have some fixes to Metroid Prime 2 that do make it better, and we'll get to those fixes when we get there, but we have a long way to go before we get there. So, without further ado, let's start on hard difficulty. Mission file 02546. 8 days ago, contact with the Galactic Federation Trooper Squad Bravo was lost. Contract agreement. Locate Federation troopers and render assistance. Data confirmation. Last transmission received from a rogue planet located in the Dasha region called Aether. Uploading last known coordinates now. Loading data. Scanning the planet Aether for their last known coordinates. Target found. Analyzing. Flight path has been set, and here we go, folks. Flying into Aether. But what is that purple mist surrounding Aether, you may ask? We'll be getting into that in due time. But Aether is that blue planet you see. But here we go. With, again, some pretty badass opening music. And here we go into the atmosphere of Aether. And into a lightning storm. Of purple lightning, not regular colored lightning that you'd see every day. And unfortunately for us... Yep! Much like Metroid Prime, rather than being on the planet to track down Ridley, this time we're actually going to be stranded on the planet Aether. We're pretty far away from where the troopers are as well. So, our ship, unfortunately, has to auto-repair. But it will be a long time before the ship is ready. So with that, our adventure on Aether begins. And here we go. And here comes a badass flip! And there we go. Now we're ready. So the first thing I want to point out, right as we start the game, you notice that the UI has undergone a little bit of a change. And when I go onto the scan visor, we now actually have colored objects, unlike Metroid Prime 1. These colored objects, it's a very simple addition. Essentially, red objects mean it's going to be research or lore. Blue objects can mean creatures or just general information. Green is things we've already scanned. And that's pretty it. So we can, that's pretty much it. So we can scan all this, and it just says object scan. Statue houses a power grid and a motivator unit, and you've just got a bunch of stuff here. So the red objects are very important, and we're going to be going on to that later. Statue motivator unit, but requires power. The power beam cannot energize a statue. Sink an alternative energy source. So if we scan this here, this is a large quality acidic fluid, and all we have to do is pretty much just shoot it. But the controls maintain the same as Metroid Prime 1. If we scan this energy door, we'll just get a large powered door with a low-level energy shield. Walk inside here, and there's going to be these light crystals. Bioscan complete. The presence of a plant container suggests it was here for decoration, possibly by local sentients. Now, if we try and go over here, Right away, it's going to say, unable to interface with door control system, cannot translate alien text. To access door controls, you will need to update your translator files, which means we can't go there, so we have to go into the ominous green mist that is flowing from over here. A lot of crates here. This is just a heavy Galactic Federation crate. Object scan Galactic Federation crate. Terminated bioform scan. Complete genome match is a splinter, which is an enemy we will see soon. This is Gate Mark 5 or Mark 6 mechanism. Mark 6 gate armor defense. Gate used with armored security locks. It's durable and resistant to all but the most potent explosives. So we scan this. Armor lock disengaged. Destroy the locks, which is pretty simple. Just gotta lock onto these. And that will activate the gate for us. But this is why it's my favorite game. The atmosphere in Metroid Prime 2. You'll see it later. You'll see it now. It's the creepiest atmosphere in Metroid Prime in the entire series, and I like that because you can really delve deep into the darker lore than you can into the lighter lore of the series, to say the least. But we do have abilities. We do have most of our abilities. We don't have power bombs. We do have boost ball, which is nice. But here we go, unlocking a gate, which will lead us to an outpost of the Galactic Federation. None of these are important. These are just security reports. This, however, is going to be our map station for the game. We are going to be required to pick these up if we really want to get 100%, because there are a lot of items in this game. In fact, there are more than Metroid Prime 1 that we actually have to pick up. And you'll see that as we go through the game. And I apologize. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a cold, because something, or not a cold, but something seems to be stuck in my throat and I can't get it out. So I figured talking might help, or getting water. Water would help too, you know? Anyways, no, these are not important. And right here is going to be our first enemy. These are going to be worker splinters. They're very easy to kill. They only take one shot a piece. But you can see what happened to some of the Galactic Federation Marines. Fatal wounds, assault weapon, Galactic Federation. Was in all likelihood killed by friendly fire. Whether it's an accident or not remains to be seen. These guys are hung up by splinter webs. Very cool. I love it. This game has the atmosphere. And now here we go with more worker splinters. They're pretty easy to take out. Like I said, you can just shoot them in one shot. But these guys, they're all red. This is lore. New lore. Data Galactic Federation Marine Corps. Personnel log entry GSTGTC Bennett. Data transferred to logbook for further review. That's right. We don't actually have to review the lore in this game, although I would like to. The problem is, if I do that, something's wrong with the lock systems on this section. They failed twice, locking us out until someone came along to let us in. If it happens again while we're playing bait for those things, well, at least we'll go out fighting instead of hiding in the control area. What things? Use the morph ball to get through small areas. New lore. I think this is Space Pirate First Class or something. I don't know. Marine Corps Personnel Log SPCB Revis. Data transferred to logbook for further review. I don't like this plan. The Hive is a small portion of a larger network. There may be dozens of Hive systems like this across the planet. They all may be linked. Destroying this one may buy us time, but it may also provoke the other Hives into attacking. Only the red ones are important. We don't scan anything else. Only the red guys are the important ones. Now, if we head over here, we're going to see a little morph ball gate and more guys being carried Up into the hive. That's... Yep. They kind of just hang there. They're all dead. This is a big... This terminated... this is a splinter. Targets were terminated by a variety of trooper weapons. This right here is our new Morph Ball bomb slot. It looks very nice, and rather than in Metroid Prime 1, it locks you into it in Metroid Prime 2, which is very nice. On Metroid Prime 1, you could roll in and out of those bomb slots pretty easily, but right now we're going to activate this gate panel here. Power restored to the gate system, which is great, but that's right! We're immediately greeted by what appear to be, because I need to scan these or else I won't have a chance to, these are Dark Troopers. Morphology, Dark Trooper, increased galactic, deceased the Galactic Federation soldier. Bioscans indicate terminated life signs in this trooper and the presence of an unknown biomass with parasitic tendencies. Though the trooper's armor is weak, it has been compromised. The bulk of it remains intact. Weapon systems remain online as well. Full parasitic fusion has yet to be obtained, resulting in low agility and response time. Which basically means they're slow-ass enemies. Let me just be fair. But, they do quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, I don't have the missile trick available in Metroid Prime 2. That is only available in Metroid Prime 1. But we do have some nice music to boot with this as well. So here come more here come more just Dark Troopers. You do get a lot of Dark Troopers to fight here, and we do get the strafe option again when we lock on, which is super useful. I mean, these troopers are pretty weak, so one shot takes them out. Now right here is going to be our instance of a missile pickup, and this little thing right here. If I can scan it, these things are always really oh, I picked it up. That was an energy unit, which replenishes 10 energy. Oh, wait, I can scan this one right here. Right there, energy unit. Boom. Oh, that was a bioscan. No, we don't want that. No. Can I have the... Yes. This is a 10 energy unit. It replenishes 10 units of energy. It's going to be the same as the last game. It's going to be purple, red, blue, and yellow for energy units. But we need to destroy this now. And the good news is we got rid of all those Dark Troopers right away. So that's pretty nice. But right here, there is a lock on the door. We cannot leave. We are now denied access. However, if we activate the security panel that we activated using the Morph Ball bomb slot before we were attacked by the Dark Troopers, we're going to be greeted by more Dark Troopers. Because, why not? Boop. Boop. And boop. They really don't do a lot of damage, even on hard. These guys are actually kind of a joke. There is a lot of backtracking, though, in this game, for sure. So, we've seen Dark Troopers. And we've seen what they're capable of. But now we just have a room. Room with crates. Room with lots of crates. That, I mean, there's really no point to blow up these crates at the moment. But, in order to get through, we can. We do also have Space Jump currently available. Rather than having to find it, we do have it available right now. But, here we go. The door is locked. And who is that mysterious figure, you may ask? It's the final boss from the last game. That is Metroid Prime. Because Metroid Prime ripped off our Phazon suit, Metroid Prime is now better known as, throughout the rest of the trilogy, Dark Samus. And Dark Samus went into this very interesting portal, so we have no choice but to chase her or him down. And every time Dark Samus is in the area, you will hear this music play. And again, it just builds the atmosphere of this game perfectly. And through the portal we go. And what happens to be on the other side other than a dark world filled with Phazon? And what are these creatures, you may ask? I'm not going to spoil anything yet. We have a long time to go before we figure out what these creatures are. But that was a shield that was protecting us from the harmful atmosphere. Unfortunately, Dark Samus in this case got the best of us. And here we are, thrown back out of a portal that has now vanished. And you're about to see the effects of that. So Samus is fine. Pretty much. Except there's one problem. Yep! We lost our gear. We no longer have Space Jump. We no longer have Morph Ball Bomb. We no longer have Grapple Beam. We no longer have the Boost Ball. We no longer have Power Bomb Generator, even though we didn't have Power Bombs anyway. Our Missile Launcher is also offline. Morph Ball Bombs are offline, as I've said. This we can't blow up without Morph Ball Bombs. We just lost a lot of gear. All remaining systems are online and active, which means we do keep the Charge Beam, which is nice. The Charge Beam is very effective for what we're about to do here. And hi. And hi. And hi. And woo, woo, machine guns. Death. Right. These guys, they're weak. They're pretty weak. Whoa, flying body. Alright, and these guys are pretty weak, so we're just starting, we're just getting into the game now. We're just starting, and we're just getting into it. We do have a lot of stuff to go through. There is a door back here, which is indeed a save point, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Which I will save. I need to save. Or else I'll have to do this all over again. Unless the footage corrupts, and then in which case I'll be doing it all over again anyway. I really hope that hasn't really happened lately. So that's a good thing. I think I fixed the problem of why my footage was corrupting. But here we go. Moving on and getting out of this area by activating a quick little elevator program. So pretty much it's the same as Metroid Prime 1. A lot of the mechanics are there. However, we are going to be getting to new stuff very, very soon. So now we are going to actually be on the other side of that gate that we couldn't translate. And now we can actually kind of move through and see the cost of what actually happened here. And if we scan this again, this is just going to say the elevator is online. And we can just use it at any time. But moving back through here, we're going to activate these. So we can activate these buttons. So we can activate this gate. And enter. There's no cutscene for it, but this is the temple grounds. Currently, we'll be seeing that in a moment. Unable to interface with the door system. Here, have an elevator. And that's not really an elevator. It's just going to lift the crane up, which is very useful because we can't get through without doing that. And it's going to be sent on its merry way into another room, which unfortunately will open an elevator that we cannot use. But right over here, we're actually going to get our first hostile enemy here. These are green crawlies. Fun name, right? This is a new creature. It's a green crawly. It's an omnivorous hunter-gatherer, simple-minded creature, patrols and turf, search nourishment, low threat, avoid physical contact, or else they do damage. Unfortunately, they do have like little hives too. Like these are destroyed splinter cocoons, which right here actually. Speaking of splinters, here they are, the splinter. Predatory insectoid hunter. Splinters are aggressive and dangerous in numbers. They're very weak, though. It's kind of interesting, though, that, I mean, you could take a couple shots to some of the enemies in the first game. No. In this one, no, you have to use a full charge beam shot on these guys, actually, to take them out. Which is really cool, but now our UI has changed because we've lost all of our items as well, so keep that in mind, and we'll head up here, destroy a couple crawlies. They're really just not a threat. And anyway, this is a Galactic Federation bridge. Mark II bridge, portable bridge. Bridge is durable, but often locks in place. So we do this. Bridge lock is going to open up. And we can get things for our bridge lock, and we're going to drop this bridge so we can move on to the next room. That translator gate is very important. We will be moving to that translator gate by the end of this episode for sure. But, fun fact about Metroid Prime 2, you don't actually need to aim at enemies directly to have a lock-on. Your shots, some of your shots at least, will automatically lock onto enemies when they're in the area, which is kind of nice. It was an addition Metroid Prime 1 also had, but it wasn't as big of an addition as Metroid Prime 2. Metroid Prime 2 fine-tuned it. And here we go with a private first class M. Veroni. The only reason I know that's private first class is, well, a lot of my family was in the military. So, personnel log of private first class M. Veroni. Data has been transferred. I think Haley's losing it. He talks to himself all the time and he won't sleep. He almost shot me on watch the other night. I think he thought I was one of those things. I talked to the doc about taking him off the line, and he told me we need all the help we can get. That's true, but if he goes berserk and kills a bunch of us, that won't be very helpful. Unfortunately, he died in a tunnel collapse. In fact, this room is actually named the Collapsed Tunnel. Really cool. Kind of a cool addition. Now, the one thing you'll notice about Metroid Prime 2 is the map screen is a little different from Metroid Prime 1. We do have a lot more things to pick up for a key, and we have a lot of stuff to do. Can't get into that door yet, as I've said, but where we started our adventure was over here in the ship. Obviously can't go there yet because it's at the landing site and whatnot, so heading over here, we see another one of these crystal things that we can't quite activate yet. But here's the cutscene I was waiting for. We are now in Temple Grounds. And splinters. This door right here. Blast shield on the door. Analysis indicates that is invulnerable to all weapons but missile. So, guess what we need to go get? We need to go get missile. But we do not have missile quite yet. We'll be picking up missile launchers again, actually, very shortly. Within the first section here, we will be getting missile launchers. So, object scan. This is composed of a nutrient-grade biomatter. Right over here is actually our first upgrade. That is a missile expansion sitting back there. When I was doing my last 100% run, that was the last item I got, because I completely forgot it was in this room that I'm standing in. But, notice how different the missile expansion looks from Metroid Prime 1. Personally, I do like the design change, and it definitely made it easier to figure, oh, like, that's a missile expansion I haven't picked up yet. So that's extremely useful. As you can tell, if I activate this here, this crane will activate and drop, and it's going to get stuck. It broke. I broke it. I'm sorry, guys. The adventure's over. We can't do anything. Just kidding! Let's go into the next room. This was all we could actually do in this room, because translator gate in the way. Can't do anything about that. And right here is going to be a Mark 7 gate. Mark 7 gate is a durable Federation barrier. It's composed of Denzium. What is Denzium, you may ask? Something we can blow up with power bombs later on. There are power bombs in this game. But we have to activate this now. And that gate will open up so we can move forward. And there's just going to be one splinter that decides to threaten our little game. But, unfortunately, the gate's behind us locked, so we can no longer go backwards. We can only now go forwards. But that's okay. Because we're going to be greeted by some more splinters. And right here, this is a giant elevator. This elevator giant satellite dish. It's a Galactic Federation communications array. Target is part of a deep space communication system. Local interference is jamming its signal until conditions are clear. It is effectively useless. So, unfortunately, it's being jammed, which means the signal cannot go out, and it cannot be used. However, if we go over here, another private first class, El Bruda. We'll be making our stand here. The engineer tells me there's no way we'll get the ship's engines online, and atmospheric interference is scrambling our distress beacon. If anyone reads this, know that we did our duty and fought well. Oh, man. Poor guy. Communication system activated. Notice the sky, how it likes to flash purple. There's a reason for that. It will be explained later. Transmission failed due to atmospheric interference. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? Well, we can only do one thing, and that's kill more Dark Troopers. Before they ruin my fun. Stop ruining my fun. The one thing, though, in Metroid Prime 2 compared to 1 that you have to know is that we are not going to be picking up the same beams this time. No, no, no. Metroid Prime 2 decided to do something completely different. And as for the charge beam function, just like Metroid Prime 1, you need a full charge to do the full damage. That is later changed in Metroid Prime 3. I wish it was changed in 2, but that's okay. So moving back over to here. You got more splinters. And right up here, that's another gate. Right here, we're going to have a Growler-class turret. It's an automated turret defense system, lightly armored gun used for point defense. And you can press in and hold A to draw on pickups just like Metroid Prime 1. I can scan this to get where I need to go. Unable to scan target. Local interference is blocking the scan visor. Well, let's go behind it, shall we? And of course, we can't scan this guy unless we're there. I'm not sure what SPC stands for, but M. Angseth. Galactic Federation Marine, N. Angseth. This is ridiculous. I can outshoot half the men here, and I'm stuck on monitor duty. I didn't join up to stare at a holoscreen. This wouldn't happen to Samus Aran. She'd be out there taking care of business, not pushing buttons and sending reports. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take care of your business that you might have started. This time around. Yes, the gate does hurt. Doesn't do damage, though. Unfortunately, as soon as you roll through it, it closes forever. But moving out here is actually where we need to go, fun fact. And here is... If I can scan it or get close to it, that'd be great. It's not going to let me do it. This is the GFS tier. Starship GFS tier, an Anther-class patrol ship used to transport Galactic Federation Marines. Vessel has sustained heavy combat damage. We're getting the data of this. We found the GFS troopers. This was our mission. But, unfortunately, we might have just walked into something much bigger. Data cycle 07041, Cosmos final report of the GFMC task force. While on patrol in the Dasha system, we engaged an unknown space pirate frigate. The enemy frigate was crippled, and it crash landed on the planet Aether. We followed the pirates, but our ship was damaged by a storm as we entered Aether's atmosphere. Heavy magnetic activity during the storm disabled our comm systems. Upon landing, we split into 2 units, one to set up an ops base, the other to do something else. This text goes by so fast. Each unit was doing fine, no problems. Until they appeared. This guy immediately shouting, "We need backup." But look how many of them there are. They are literally an army. And here is the last remaining survivor. And that's it. That's what happened to the Galactic Federation Marines. And now we can read their logs and figure out. Captain A. Exter. I'm beginning to think it was a real bad idea going down there. Reeves is right. That hive is just one of many. It's stupid to stir a hornet's nest, especially if you plan on sleeping under it. F. Triplets. The Sarge says those splinters remind him of some killer bug he saw on another planet once. All I know is that things are fast and they take a lot to drop. Pretty soon we'll have to go to bayonets. Everyone's low on ammo. Even Brode. And he's the stingiest grunt I know. Well, we saw what happened to him. Private First Class Milligan. New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps. Personnel log P. Private First Class Sergeant S. Milligan. Brutal lost a bet, so he switched watch duty with me. I figured this section is nice and safe and boring, which suits me just fine. Let those other pugs guard. Let those other punks. Is it? I think it's meant to be punks. Let those other pugs guard the hot zone. Hold on. Hey, halt! No, help! And the transmission ends. That's when they were attacked. Private First Class G. Haley. I hear them everywhere. They're coming. Can't sleep. Ever. They'll eat me. Eats. Lance Corporal, I think it is. J. Brode. Here's Brode. Man, I hope this is the only breeding ground for these things. If there's more, we're in big trouble. We had a hard time enough taking that one out of commission. I almost ran out of ammo. I never run out of ammo. But this box here is very important. I'm going to blow it up because it's going to be our first upgrade, which we're going to get back. It's going to be, what do you know, the missile launcher. Press Y to fire, press A to go, and there we are with the missile launcher, which we can now use. But not before we are greeted by what are dark splinters, darkly possessed insectoid predators. The alien symbiote within the splinter augments its strength and durability. Threat level has been raised. And now we're going to get attacked by the same Marines. By the same thing the Marines got attacked by. And they do a decent amount of damage. I think one missile actually kills them. No. They take a lot more punishment than just one simple little missile. That's for sure. 2 charge shots, though, is enough. Thank God. Why don't you die for me? We're going to be hearing this theme a lot, too, by the way. But, sorry, guys. Woo! Bodies flying everywhere. Right, in order to get to where we need to go now, you can see that there's another translator gate here we cannot access yet. If I step inside the ship. You'll see that we're going to get another map station. And there we go. You have downloaded the map for this area. And it's a lot bigger than you think it is. Look at all this stuff. We have a long way to go, folks. This game has only just begun. This game, I also believe, is the longest of the Prime series. So be prepared for a fun little game. Right here, this is going to be power stored to a kinetic orb cannon. As you know, the kinetic orb cannons are in Metroid Prime 1. Not as potent as they are in Metroid Prime 2. So let's use this kinetic orb cannon and get to where we need to go here. Now we can shoot that missile door right off. Pick up some missiles back now that we have them. I don't need that missile, and we'll head out and in and over to here. But there's another body. Here comes another lore. Private First Class E. Dennis. I'm the only one left. I managed to get out of the hive, but when I got to the ship, everyone was gone. Dead. I'm heading for that alien building we saw earlier. Maybe someone can help me there. Wait. Something's moving down there. Hello? And unfortunately for him, he is dead as well. And right here! Here we go with the most annoying enemy in the game. The freaking War Wasps! I hate these guys. I do. They're really annoying. There's too many of them as well. Power stored to the kinetic orb cannon. I hate War Wasps. They're They're really annoying enemies. Let me just put it that way. I don't want to fight them, but I will be fighting quite a few of them, unfortunately. But here we go with the kinetic orb cannon. And if I turn around here, I should be able to drop this bridge. Not quite yet. And right here, this is going to be a War Wasp hive. Pretty simple to take out, just like the hives in the first game of Metroid Prime. One missile, if I would have hit that, that would have been great. One missile takes out a hive, and you can do it before they even get to you. So that's pretty nice. Okay, good. I thought I missed that one. I always miss this hive, though, up here. There's always one more hive that I always miss, and it's always up here in this stupid corner. And right here, this is a kinetic orb cannon. It's just a little bit of research that we're going to need to get. Where is the thingy for it? It's right here. Yes. And here we go, back into the kinetic orb cannon, which is going to crack the wall. So I can then fire a missile at. Which I should have fired a missile at first, to be fair. And now I can use the kinetic orb cannon and break the wall. And we can be on our way doing things by going under here into this nice little locked-on morph ball track. Most of the morph ball tracks in Metroid Prime 2 do keep you locked in place. A very nice addition. But right here is something we've never seen before. Target has been dead for 8 cycles. Trace amount of unknown chemical present in target. Its effect is similar to the mummification on dead biomatter. And here we go. Up to the alien building that the Marines were trying to get to. The Great Temple. And right up here we see another one. Area resource scan has been completed. Bioscan. Target has been dead for 8.1 cycles. Area resource scan complete. Local save beacon is active. Right here, these enemies. Can I get one? Can I get one? No, I want to get one. No. Those things are really hard to scan, but I can get to them. Mechanical analysis complete. Device is part of a compromised security system. Only basic door units remain online. Well, here's a save station. There's also an item back here, behind the save station. We need morph ball bombs to get. Unfortunately, we don't have morph ball bombs, but for now, we have begun our journey into Metroid Prime 2, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of Metroid Prime 2. Next time on Metroid Prime 2, we'll be moving further into the Great Temple to maybe figure out what those things are that attack the Marines and maybe try and get some retribution. So until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.